1.18 Caves and Cliffs Part 2 is on the horizon, and that means that it's time to sunset, sadly, the Bedrock Guide Season 1. Just a couple quick thank yous before we get into today's video. First and foremost, I want to thank my moderator team. Those guys have been so helpful in streams, keeping the peace, keeping things family friendly, and keeping things moving. So huge shout out to my moderator team. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to my amazing patrons for supporting the channel. I cannot tell you guys how much your support means to me. It just absolutely means the world. Thank you, and thank you to YouTube members as well. We just kind of kicked that off recently. And last but not least, thank you to every single person who has ever watched a Bedrock Guide video or live stream. The Bedrock Guide is my favorite series I've ever had on the channel, and it shows in the amount of work that we got done and the amount of fun that we had over the course of the last year plus. We got bigger and better things ahead, but before we move on to Season 2, let's take a quick trip down memory lane to take a look at some of the builds and projects that we've worked on over the last year and a couple of months. This is the exact spot, or at least I think it is, where we spawned into the world for the very first time, and on the first day, Prowl and I had no idea what this world looked like. We had somebody pick out the seed for us, and we just generally wanted to be surprised at what we were going to face. So when I spawned into a giant desert, I was a little concerned, but we didn't have too much to be worried about because we had plenty of trees and grassland to get us started. We did agree that on the first day we wouldn't utilize anything from that village, so we did avoid that. And as we made our way through episode 1, we ended up over in this general vicinity, and this is where we called home for the first several episodes. I think maybe even up to episode 20 we were over here. There's not a ton over here, but this is a very fun and memorable starting area for me. And actually, we kind of went over back here, and this log right here is from the original house that we built, and I believe it was about this wide. It was just a little square hut on the ground. There was nothing to look at. It was pretty ugly, and we ended up ripping out everything except for one log. We wanted to make sure we had some sort of foundation from our very first build in the world, and I believe it's this log right here, and we just ended up building a house around it. We've got our crops, we've got our nether portal, and I just love the view of this house from the front. It's got so many different roof lines and angles. It's very interesting to look at. We go on inside, we've got our blue jay carpet. We're definitely gonna be bringing this back in future seasons of the guide. And we've got just the general layout of the interior. We've got our basic starter storage, our first bedroom, a little mosaic rug. This was our first XP furnace. I don't believe that there's anything in there right now, but it would still work if we wanted to try it out. We got our kitchen fully equipped with a redstone trash can. And if we head out the back door, we've got our little barbecue area with our furnaces and blast furnaces as our first mini super smelter. And that was really helpful for a good chunk of time. And actually down here as well, we did this relatively early on. We've got our branch mine. And as you can see, we didn't do a whole lot of branch mining. I mean, there's a decent amount done here because we go, I don't know, probably several thousand blocks in each direction. So I guess we did quite a bit of branch mining early on. But as we got more and more resources and we needed fewer and fewer diamonds and things like that, we didn't branch mine anymore. We just kind of went caving from time to time. I caught so much grief for missing this in the previous world tour. So we're gonna make sure not to miss it. We'll go check it out. I had some plans for this rail line, but as you can see, it ended right here, and that's okay because we kind of abandoned the starter area once we got going on the main base. Got some different things in mind for Season 2, but if we follow where this rail line should have gone, it'll take us to this little abandoned mine shaft kind of feel thing that I built. I'm actually really proud of this. I love this look. And this is our spider farm. So if we go over here, we've got a spider spawner. Hey, it actually still works. Look at that. They'll go ahead and float down the river and come on into the killing chamber. And we can just go whack-a-doodle and get some string, get some spider eyes. I don't know why there's bones in there. Spiders don't give off bones. I've also got my project chests back there. Westy, don't look inside. Just don't look in there. That's the spider farm. If we come on up here, it's just a little observation deck. It kind of looks like maybe this was a mine shaft at one point that collapsed in on itself. And same way with that direction. And we can just come over here and observe the spider spawner and watch the spiders dropping down. And there they go. As we come back up out of the branch mine area, we'll head back over here. You can see on the hilltop over there, we've got some cocoa beans. We never really did anything with them, but we gathered some just in case. We've got a pillager captain in here. Don't set him off because we do have a villager. I've had my fair share of raids over at this starter area by accident, and I think we've killed one, maybe two mending villagers that way. So Mobius, he's immortal. He'll never go away. But Mendelssohn and Mendelssohn 2, rest in peace. Sugarcane farm. This is the most compact and best sugarcane farm you're ever going to need. It has no bone meal in here, but I'll try to fill that up before we set the world download out. But this thing is super crazy fast and amazing. It is not a zero-tick farm. It does require bone meal to grow the sugarcane, but be sure to check out that tutorial if you want to learn how to build it. I was about to head over to my pirate base, but before we go over there, let's head into the nether, because we did go to the nether first, and once we get into the nether, we have, sadly, a build that's not fully complete. We had bigger plans for this, but life kind of got crazy for me. I ended up moving twice during the 2021 calendar year, and I ended up getting a new job. So life was a little bit hectic, and some projects like this went by the wayside. And then Prowl went from transitioning into a full-time role as a content creator as well. And so he's been focusing on his projects and getting that up and running. So yeah, we had more plans for this area. Didn't get finished, but what is finished actually looks pretty cool. If we head on down this direction and go down the stairs, this is the portal that leads to my pirate base, but we're not going to go there just yet. We're going to go ahead and jump out the window and take a little flight across the pond. Oh no! No! Oh, I forgot you could fly out of the lava. Oh, I forgot you could fly. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh, not a great way to start your world tour, Blue. We're all right. We're alive. We're fine. Oh, this is the bartering farm. The bartering farm, I've gotten so many questions about this over the last few months. The gold jay here. Oh, I love this thing. And the netherite block flex. Perfect. This is currently broken. I don't know if it's a bug or if it's a mechanics change. These guys don't catch the gold anymore. I believe it's the trap doors that are causing them to miss the gold as it falls. So the basic fix for this at this current juncture is to remove every other piglin from this and make it a 4-wide piglin farm instead of an 8-wide piglin farm, and just have a gap in between. Then you can remove the trap doors, and that should allow them to start catching the gold again. I haven't tested this personally, but that's the feedback that I've gotten from my crew. Super crazy fast storage system underneath that collects all of the bartering farm items. You might say to yourself, that's overkill. Why would you need this fast of a storage system? Try that bartering farm out and you'll know why. Another build that unfortunately we didn't end up finishing the exterior for, but it is a broken farm, so I'm going to leave it as is for now, and we won't focus on that too much because we're going to focus on the things that we did finish. And my goodness, I'm so thrilled with the amount of progress we got done this season of the guide. This is one of my favorite base builds that I've ever made. Oh no. Are you mad? I don't think he's mad. I think we're good. I think we're good. Don't look at the Enderman. And this will take us to our main pirate base area. And when you pop out of the portal, you're going to come into a little oasis type cave like this. We'll explore in here first. The first thing you notice is we've got all these armor stands around here. These are named for patrons, moderators, people in the community that have contributed to the channel and the community itself. So we've got pirate armor stands all throughout the base area. So if you see your name in here, huge shout out to you. Behind the waterfall, we've got our potion brewing station. Sure, this is finished. This is finished, right? It is technically finished. It's up and running. It works. It doesn't have any ingredients in it. So I'm going to leave that up to you. You can put whatever ingredients in here that you want and have your own potion brewing setup ready to go when you download the world. We're going to jump out of the waterfall and hang a left and go over here to our hilltop oasis. And I am absolutely thrilled with the immersion of this area. From the custom palm trees to the sand walkways to the bees flying around the area. We got pirate stands here as well. We've got little smokestacks going. I'm in love with this area. And this is kind of what I would call the Walt Disney World effect. This area is actually not that big. It's pretty small. but as you walk around it, it just feels bigger and larger than life just because of some of the placement of the trees and some of the placement of the light posts. If you do a quick flyover of this area, you can see it's not that big. It doesn't cover a very large area. But because of forced perspective with some of our decorations, it feels a little bit larger than life. Up top of our pirate restaurant, we've got a little hangout area where some pirates can enjoy some honey and honeycombs and sit by the fire and listen to some good music. I don't know where the musicians are, but you could listen to music up here if you wanted. And if we go inside of our restaurant, it doesn't really look like a restaurant in the inside. This is more of like the kitchen area, I guess. We've got our shulker unloader, which unfortunately it doesn't go anywhere. So again, I'm going to leave that to you as to where you want the storage chests for that to go. We've got our chicken cooker, which is fully functional. We got plenty of chicken and we got plenty of feathers. It does convert to an egg farm. If we flip the switch like that, it will go ahead and deposit eggs into the storage. And then over here, we've got our sea pickle farm. So if we stand right here, there's no bone meal in there either. But if we bone meal that, those sea pickles will grow up. And again, I'm going to go ahead and put some bone meal in here for you guys so that this is up and running and ready to go before we get the world download out. So yeah, this restaurant, it is called Chick-fil-Arg because it's a pirate restaurant and it's got chicken and pickles. I know you come here for the dad jokes, so just give me a fake laugh and let's move on. Then we've got a couple of bee farms. We've got a honeycomb farm, and we've got a honey bottle farm. We've got a little minecart that's running back and forth under there that should pick up those honeycombs and deposit them into our storage. Holy smokes, that's full. And there's some things in there that shouldn't be in there. So we'll just go ahead and take those, make some more room for our honeycomb. And then we got honey bottles over here, and it's slowly starting to fill back up. We did end up using a lot of honey for our last project of the season, the previous video. We've got our nano farm, and you can come over here and grow any kind of crops that you want, from potatoes to carrots to wheat, things like that. We've got our amazing villager hard at work back here in our wheat farm, and we got bees flying around trying to help the crops grow a little bit quicker, and I say they're doing a pretty good job. If we collect some of this wheat, we can go over here to our cow farm, and we can flip those trapdoors up, press the button, and say, hello cows, munch, 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 munch. And they'll go ahead and eat and eat and eat, and then the baby cows, they will go down a secret passageway underneath the farm, and once they grow up into adult cows, they'll drop down this chute right here where they'll cook up and give us some steak. These guys over here are exclusively our milking cows, and we got Prowl. Hi, Prowl. How was season 1 for you? Moo? Moo? All right, see ya. Goodbye. Once again, I absolutely love the immersion of this area because we've got the mood lighting of the soul lanterns at night. Oh, it just looks so cool. One thing I'm really proud of as well is that each area of my main base connects with its own theme, and it just feels like one cohesive unit. So even though that's a bit different than the rest of the builds, it transitions well because we've got this nice suspension bridge that goes across the water. We've got some crazy stuff going on over there that we'll check out here in a minute. And then once we get over here, we've got this little passageway. We got a nice little crystal-y mountain on the side here, and then we can go on back around, and this is where the path kind of dead ends, and this is our amazing, crazy, humongous lava farm. If we turn this on, you'll start seeing the piston feed tape pushing the cauldrons around, and we can just stand here and collect lava to our heart's content, and it will replenish the lava because there's lava above these dripstone, and it'll just drop right back down into the cauldrons. It's an amazing little contraption. You should check it out when you go on your own personal world tour. And then if we come back over here, there's nothing that looks obvious about this area, but we've got a secret hidden button back here. If we hit that button, boom, a doorway opens up into the rest of our base. And I love how this opens up to the cove. We can see our pirate ship, which we'll go tour that here in just a minute. Then we can walk all the way through into our base area, and down here, this is where our super smelter is. We've got the item input over here, and we've got the fuel input over there. And if you saw the episode where we built this super smelter, this was one humongous open square rectangular room. And just recently, on a couple of live streams, we fixed this area up real nice. Everything's cohesive, everything looks good. So the cool thing about this super smelter is that when the items get smelted under the floor, they'll go into a hopper system that goes up a water elevator, and then they'll just shoot over this waterfall here and float down the stream into our hoppers. It'll go into that chest, or if we're looking for a little bit more immediate pickup, we can press that button, and we got a block swapper that pushes those hoppers out of the way, and we can just stand here and collect the items straight into our inventory. If we hop on over here, this opens up into the main area, and I am just absolutely in love with this area, and I'm going to be very cautious because in the process of preparing to record this world tour video, I've had several creepers come through here and blow up armor stands, and I don't want to fix them again for the 10,000th time. But this area serves as our main storage unit. We've got some things that are separated out. So over here, this is the gold farm storage. So we'll have gold ingots and gold nuggets and the rotten flesh coming over here, and we've got, let's see, oh my gosh, we've got so much rotten flesh. We're never going to use all this, but we've got a lot. If we come over here into this little secret passageway right here, we've got our button, we've got our lever for the trident killer, and we've got our lever for the gold farm, and hopefully, if it's turned on correctly, we should see some piglins dropping down here soon. And there we go. We've got piglins falling down. This thing gets kind of crazy fast and a little bit crazy loud. And this Trident Killer is a Bedrock Edition exclusive. Trident Killers do not work in Java Edition. And this is just absolutely amazing. We can stand here with our looting sword and collect the effects of the Trident and collect the XP. And all of the gold is going down into the storage system, which goes over to those chests that we saw over there. Like I said, it's crazy loud, so we're going to go ahead and shut that off. And then we're going to continue on with our tour. And we're going to go across the little bridge right here that goes over our water stream. I love that there's a little river flowing through our cave. This brings a little bit more atmosphere. We've got our bulk overflow chests. And again, don't look, Westy. These are so disorganized. I'm so ashamed of myself. Somebody come organize this for me, please. The rest of these chests are actually part of a multi-item sorting system that we built. So everything that is in here is sorted out really nicely. We still have some placeholder blocks for things that never got filled up. But all in all, it's a very, very good working storage system. If we go over here, this is one of my favorite stupid contraptions that you don't really need, but it's super fun to have. If we take off our netherite armor, because netherite armor has blast resistance, our TNT here is gonna fire us up through the mountain. Ow! Let's try that again. Our TNT is going to blast us up through the mountain, up into the air. Where we can see anything and everything. And as you can see, there's the gold farm. There's the super volcano that we'll check out here in just a few minutes. But I absolutely love using that as an exit from our cave. It just feels very Jack Sparrow-like. No, creeper! Run away! Run away! Run away! Let's be careful. No more explosions. No more. No. No. No! Denied. Anyway, as I was saying, this feels very much like a Jack Sparrow type contraption where he would fire himself up into the air and catch onto a rope and fly around or do something crazy. I just thought it would be fun to add into our pirate base. Over here is our input for the multi-item sorting system, and all we got to do is just toss items in. I've already got some in here that we can get rid of, and the hoppers in there will collect the items and start pushing them through the multi-item sorter, and they will go to their designated chests along the way. We won't explain how this works. Go check out the tutorial if you want to know. One of the things that I thought about when building this base was this storage system. I wanted it to be a little bit immersive, and I wanted some movement, and so we've got this dropper that's shooting items out. It kind of looks like they're coming from the waterfall, like this is the wishing well, and they're just going off into where they're supposed to go. So our items will float down the river here, and they'll get picked up again over on the opposite side of this wall back here, and just kind of carry on through the rest of the storage system. Absolutely love the immersion of seeing items floating through. It's just kind of a fun little ad. It's not necessary, but it's definitely fun. In here, we've got our iron farm, and we've got a golem roaming around. I don't know how he got up there. Anyway, this is our iron farm villager trading hall. It works fairly well still. We're going to have to do a little bit of redesigning and tweaking to our iron farm in future builds, but hey, there you go. We got a golem that spawned in the correct spot, went down, and we got another one. Look at that. We've got iron golems that spawn, and we've got villagers that make this thing work, but at the same time, this doubles as our villager trading hall so that we can get valuable things like mending books for everything but our bow, because infinity should go on your bow. We got easy access to things like name tags at 1 emerald a piece. It's super discounted. And then if we come over here, we've got a pressure plate on the ground, and if we step on it, you're gonna see a minecart pop up from under the ground, and it's gonna land right there. If we step off of this pressure plate, make sure there's no creepers, the minecart will get sent on its merry way. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna step on it, we're gonna wait. We've got another minecart coming, and we're going to get in, and we're going to take the magical minecart ride of death. Ah, there's TNT, and there's a jump, and there's lava, and there's just craziness all over the place. And then it's going to spit us out right here. And this, my friends, is one of my favorite areas of the entire base. This is the heart of the volcano. This is where the iron golems land. You saw one just jump down right there. It burns on campfires. That's how the mechanic works. But secretly, we're, story-wise, we're saying that this lava is fueling this burning chamber, because the lava is being siphoned from the volcano itself, and the iron golems will burn, drop their items into the hoppers, and then the items, you'll be able to see, will drop down below. They'll come out of a dropper that's hooked up right above that iron bar right there, so we should be seeing that momentarily. Hello? Items? All right, there we go. The golem met its end, and there we go. We saw some poppies and some iron and all sorts of things falling down in, and then they go through their designated sorting tunnels. Then again, we've got some movement. These little streams will carry the items once they get to their designated sorting areas, and this whole area is for iron, and you can see we've got plenty of it. This area is for string, and even still, we've got plenty of string. And then this area over here is for poppies, and we've got even more poppies. Never gonna use all of these. Never gonna use them all. But we have them. And then this stained glass fog effect for the lava. This is one of my favorite effects in all of Minecraft, and I'm determined to put it somewhere in one of my builds in every world that I ever do. We'll go ahead and hop on the minecart, and we'll jump back in. We've got a little bit of a different minecart ride back up because the track diverts from where it jumped up. Oh no. Let's try that again. Up we go. We've got a little bit of a different path. We got TNT. Ah! It's kind of crazy. A little bit fun. If a creeper explodes down there, that's going to be a big boom. If we come out the back side of the iron farm, we've got a little bit of an exposed area where you can see the inner workings of the multi-item sorting system, and it is rather impressive to watch. It does take a long time to sort items this way, so if you're in a rush to sort your items, maybe multi-item sorting isn't for you. Here we've got our dripstone farm that goes back for ages and ages and ages back here. We've got multiple modules of dripstone, and as they grow, the observers will detect that and break the dripstone with the pistons, and it will deposit dripstone into our chest here. And I'm actually a little shocked that we don't have more than this at this point in the season, but stuff grows very slow. Two of my absolute favorite builds that I've ever made, I'm about to show you this pirate ship right here. This is called the Ender Pearl. It's a play on words. You got the black pearl, you got the Ender Pearl. Right, you get it? If you have to explain it, it's not funny. Anyway, we hop on up to the deck of the Ender Pearl, and we've got some cannons, and on the cannons, we have wither skeleton skulls serving as the cannonballs, and we've got a few cannonballs firing over here. I don't know what they're firing at. Moving on, we got at the front, because this is the Ender Pearl, we have the Ender Dragon head on our Ender Pearl. So instead of skull and crossbones on our main sail up there, we've got a creeper face. It just felt pretty appropriate for the Minecraft world. Creepers are the most menacing thing you can think of, or at least the most iconic. And in here, every good pirate needs a good parrot. So we've got Hot Sauce, and you don't have a name, and you don't have a name, and Nugget. Hot Sauce and Nugget, and two unnamed parrots. Feel free to name them whatever you like. This is the captain's quarters, and in here, this is actually where you're going to be able to find all of my tools. I still have some of them on me. I will deposit them in here before the end of the video. We've got our even better XP furnace that still is functional. So we go in here and we grab a fish. We're at level 49 right now. We grab that one fish, and let's actually get our pickaxe here, and boom. We'll repair our pickaxe a little bit, and we're at level 54. Super crazy fast form of XP. Build yourself an XP furnace. And then this. This took months and months and months of work. resource gathering, planning. It's so crazy. We've got lava coming over the edge of the volcano. We've got smoke coming up from the volcano. We've got a little bit of steam coming up from the water where the lava meets the water. And then as it transitions over into like the regular mountainside, we've got some crystallization forming from the volcano itself. And that fades into a regular stone mountain that actually was exploded by a different form of energy. So that's lava. This is the nether portal for our gold farm. And so we're just kind of telling a story like, hey, these nether portals, maybe they were inside the mountain for a long time and they exploded and that's what's left of the mountain. It's all broken up into shards and fragments and things like that and just looks super, super fun, super cool. Very proud of how this turned out. Again, one of the most time-consuming projects I've ever done, and I'm very thankful that in Caves and Cliffs Part 2, we don't have to build mountains, because the mountains actually look really good. Across from our pirate ship, we have our bamboo farm, and if we go ahead and flip that lever, bamboo! Oh, it's amazing. So this is a very similar mechanic to what we have for our sugarcane farm. The bamboo will get grown by the bone meal and then broken by the pistons. The nice side function of this farm is that this will work passively as well. So when this bamboo grows up to the observer, it will go ahead and fire off and break the bamboo as well. So it can be an active or a passive farm. And there you go. You just saw it happen. In our pirate ship flipped upside down on top of a building for the roof over here, on the interior, we've got our basalt farm. We needed tons and tons and tons of basalt for this world, so we had a little basalt farm. The original design was made by Prowl, so we ended up just using his design in the world. It's actually highly efficient, and I've been hard-pressed to find something that's better, so great job. Once that gets mined, it gets shot up into a water elevator and deposited into our chests over here, so it collects rather quickly. If you stand here for 15 minutes, you're going to have quite a bit of basalt. We don't have much left over because we've used a ton of it. The roof of the interior of that cave, almost every inch of it is covered in basalt. So we've used quite a bit over the course of the season. And last but not least, we got this little cave tunnel going up here. It's nothing to shout about. It's something basic we did at the end of the season that leads us back up to our pirate oasis on the hilltop. A couple more side builds that are not associated with the base. We've got our fish farm up here, and as far as I understand, this is not gonna work in 1.18. So if you load up this world and you're like, hey, your fish farm's broken, yep, it probably is. If we stand up here, we should see at some point some bubbles start floating around. I don't see any right now, but some fish should spawn in there, some squids should spawn in there, and deposit bones. There we go, it's working. So we got some bones, we got some fish, we got some ink sacs. But again, this design may not work past the next few days here until 1.18 comes out, and this farm will likely be broken. But this is how we got our endless supply of fish. So much fish, never gonna use it all. Enjoy it, have yourself a fish fry, get some bones and bone meal for the farms. And then over here, we've got our creeper farm, and this is what has fueled my obsession with TNT and rockets for the duration of our season. So all we gotta do is just stand here. And when the creepers start dropping, they will drop gunpowder, and the minecarts will shift around the track. You see the gunpowder right there. The minecart will come by, and it will scoop it up as it goes by. You should see it here on the next pass. There it goes, and then it will deposit into these center hoppers that go all the way down the line, and the gunpowder will go into our storage chests right here. So, gunpowder, gunpowder, a little bit more gunpowder, a little bit more gunpowder, a lot more gunpowder. We got so much gunpowder. Absolutely love the gunpowder farm, so we can make infinite rockets and infinite TNT. Now, where did I leave that fortress farm? Ah, there it is. There it is. We're back in the Nether, and this is one of the major projects that Prowl and I collaborated on together, and we plan to do more things like this in the future of the Bedrock Guide. This is our fortress farm, and it's actually quite impressive. We've got the spawn spots identified for where fortresses will spawn various mobs, from blaze to wither skeletons to magma cubes, and then we've even got little chambers that we've calculated out where the magma cubes will glitch into if we've got big magma cubes, and these iron golems will have their way, have some fun going on a boxing match, and they will always win. The rest of the drops are going to go down into our storage system down here. We're going to be careful because I don't have a bow and arrow on me. I should have brought one, but we got things down here like wither skeleton skulls. I've taken quite a few of those for wither fights. We've got coal, we've got arrows, we got blaze rods, we got bones, we got all sorts of stuff. Yeah, the fortress farm, that was a fun build. And last but not least, the thing that I want to show you the most, our last project, the previous video, you can go check it out. I do want to prove to you that I did fix it. And for those of you that are accusing me of staging the accident at the end of the last video, you underestimate my ability to have bird brains. All right, it was totally not staged. It was 100% caught up in the moment of recording a final clip for a video, and I forgot that I shouldn't just continue throwing snowballs, and we accidentally blew up our tunnel bore. I did fix it. It is up and running. It is working like it should, and it is available to you when you download the world. But enough telling, let's go showing for our show and tell. Here it is. This area was blasted out in just mere minutes. We just threw snowballs. We cleared the area out with these tunnel bores. Just absolutely insane how quickly this area gets cleared out. And I might say this is by far the best tunnel bore you're going to find on YouTube. There are some things about it that I want to improve for Season 2, but we're going to save that for Season 2. Just to show you quickly how this thing works, if we go over here and we toss a snowball at the target block, you're going to notice that a TNT is going to get dispensed, and it's going to get pushed forward, and all the way down the line, kablooey, kablooey, kablooey. And then we can do it again, and it just chain reacts. It's wireless redstone with snowballs blowing up the nether with TNT. And the things that you got to be careful with this are lava pockets and things that are less that are more blast resistant, like blackstone. You might have to clear some of that out, but check it out. We've already found in a couple of snowballs a few more ancient debris to add to the pile. That's never going to get used by me, but maybe you guys will find some use for all this ancient debris. I want to see how much of the nether you can blow up after you download the world. Well, folks, this is quite the bittersweet moment because, again, this has been my favorite series by far of anything I've ever done on YouTube, and this is my favorite world that I've ever built. We've learned a lot this season. We've put a lot of work into it, and I'm happy with the result. I hope you are too, but it's time to say goodbye to Bedrock Guide Season 1. We've got great things ahead, and again, at the time of this video, Caves and Cliffs Part 2 is launching on November 30th, 2021, and that is when we're going to be launching the Bedrock Guide Season 2, so stay tuned, check out the YouTube channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, be sure to click like on the video so that more people can join in on the fun, and don't forget to click the bell and turn on notifications so you don't miss the start of Bedrock Guide Season 2. Thank you so much once again for all of the support this season. Here's to another great season and another great update. Thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye!